All right, guys, so I have just met somebody for about 30 phones. I got a box full of phones back here, and plus I got some Nintendo Switches back here, and that's just for my store. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to stop and talk about why a lot of phone flippers quit within the first 90 days. Phone flipping is not difficult, but it also is not something that you'll just get rich off of, right? Like, you can't just get rich from phone flipping, and I tell people this all the time. Hence why a lot of people's favorite phone flipping YouTubers have disappeared, right? Now, when I first got on this platform, I never really understood that phone flipping was a thing. I thought that phone flipping was just literally flipping phones. You know what I mean? Like, I just flip phones. Like, that's just what I did. But what I've realized is that to some people, phone flipping has turned into an art, right? For some people, phone flipping is a side hustle. For me, phone flipping was just a business that I turned into a bigger business, right? Now, if phone flipping is essentially when you're buying a phone lower than market value and you are selling it either at market value or higher than market value to two type of people, a consumer or a wholesale buyer. A wholesale buyer is somebody that buys phones on a consistent basis. It could be internationally. It could be a person that's in the country. Usually all wholesale buyers have a person in the country to cut shipping costs, and that person is a person you would connect with to sell your phones to. They take those phones, ship them overseas all at once. But a consumer is another way that you can sell these devices. But again, why are people just quitting? Well, a lot of people don't understand what it takes to start phone flipping. A lot of people have a misconception of phone flipping. They think that phone flipping is when you are flipping a phone to make an extra $20 or $40. But see, let's make this clear. And I think a lot of people need to come to this realization, right? When you're phone flipping as anybody, you have to also understand the power of time. Your time matters, right? And you're not always going to have unlimited time to spend meeting people and trying to cash out on certain deals, nor are you going to always have the time to sit there and oh snap, you're not going to always have the time to sit there and make offers daily. Sometimes you're going to have to rely on other people and outsourcing. And I think that with me, it was always me understanding that, right? I only can meet with at least or at most 5 to 8 people a day. No matter how much I tried to rush people, I didn't want to rush too much because you got to also factor in that I'm trying to inspect what I expect when it comes to my business. So I don't want to make a mistake trying to rush to meet someone else. Not even just that, at some point phone flipping slows down throughout the year. And the reason why it has slowed down for you, or maybe you haven't seen the success that you want, which then makes you feel like it's not worth doing, is because you're too busy trying to create an individual side hustle out of something that requires outsourcing. It also requires delegation, and it also requires you to put more in. Now, you're either going to have to put more money in or more time. Now, I have students that I work with on a week-to-week basis that flip phones, and usually they end up stalling out to at least 3 phones, 5 to 6 phones a week. That's not enough to see any growth, right? Eventually you hit a ceiling. Well, those people usually don't want to leave the house. They usually don't want to meet up with people on a day-to-day basis. And most importantly, they don't know how to flip phones. Well, they don't know how to flip their money, I'll say that. I don't want to say they don't know how to flip phones. They just don't know how to flip their money. And see, the way you flip your money is realizing that the more phones you buy, great, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a good margin, right? You want to start dealing with the people that have a bunch of phones and don't value them anymore. See, when you're buying phones from regular consumers, right? People that may have had the phone in a drawer and it was collecting dust, or that person that has that phone straight from AT&T and just trying to sell it off for some profit. Those people actually do value the phone to a certain extent. Now, it may not be the supreme value, but they value it, right? Well, what about those businesses that are upgrading with other cell phone carriers, or those businesses that are going out of business and need to get rid of their phones? What about the businesses that need phones, need devices, and they don't want to be tied into a 2-year contract or 4-year contract? See, the secret to phone flipping is understanding that at some point, yes, you're going to have to flip phones individually. But there's also going to be a period where you're going to have to realize that, okay, me flipping phones individually is cool, but I'm stalling out. I think that I need to either start training somebody else to do it for me and paying them so that I can start flipping phones, or teaching another person. And also I need to get another type of clientele, right? Because me doing these one-off deals is good, but it's too time consuming. One thing we can't get back is time. I know it may sound like I'm on a rant, but I'm spitting game. One thing you cannot do is get back time. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna make sure that you are emphasizing the importance of building your, I don't even want to say team, but your business. It could be a refurbishing business where you get phones that are cracked and damaged, or it could be a business where you're just buying phones from companies like home health cares or Amazon delivery driving companies, or even just hospitals. It could be any type of company. You can go ahead and buy their devices for cheap. We just brought about 17 iPhone XRs for around $7.95 each. That's a good amount, and they're paid off, but the company no longer has value for them, and that's why we could get away with it, right? Now, of course, those phones don't have too much value, so we're probably gonna sell those phones for like $65 to $70, but still, those phones are going to be worth something to somebody, but these businesses no longer need them, nor do they really care, right? Not saying they don't want to make no money. Usually they don't want to make money. They want you to do certain things like provide cases or screen protectors, something to supplement them from having to spend more money in a liquid form. But if you can pay them cash, they'll take it. But you got to remember, businesses, it's not the money that's the problem. It's usually the service and also operations. And if you can help with service or operations, you're going to be able to make a good amount of money, okay? And that's always how it works. So again, I would really emphasize, if you're struggling and you're feeling like your phone flipping business is going slower, hit up pawn shops. See if you can actually start collecting phones from them. Hit up repair shops. See if you can work with the repair agents and bring phones that may be cracked or damaged, and they fix it for a low cost, and you guys work together and make that store a drop-off point. Or just go ahead and start calling your local T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and ask for the business rep and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Business Rep, I know that you deal with a lot of companies. If there are companies that don't want to buy phones from you guys, but they also want to lease them, finance them, and want to trade in their devices but aren't happy with the trade-in device value from T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon, hey, let them know I am a buyback company. I will come in the deal. I'll buy all the devices, and I'll put X amount on their first bill, or I'll get all the devices for a bill payment. Or, and what I mean by that is, yes, some companies, they will sell you all of their 114 devices if you pay their company bill for 2 months. And all you do literally is tell the business account executive, hey, I'm gonna pay their bill for 2 months. Let's put that credit on that account and work it out with the business rep, because usually they'll pocket the money, or they'll tell you to just pay the bill. You just literally go into a store and pay the bill for 2 months and get a bunch of iPhones. These are easy little deals that nobody talks about, because the people that are doing them are too busy doing them and not really giving that game, because this is really an untapped space. I think that the space is becoming bigger as the years have progressed, but it's so much money to be made out here. You just have to really be creative, especially when it comes to phone flipping. So why do people give up? It's because they stopped innovating. They stopped building and being creative when it comes to their business. Instead, they just focused on flipping individually, not realizing that you flipping individually isn't going to be sustainable for you to be able to supplement that full-time income. Sometimes you're going to have to start utilizing and maneuvering and plan on your network, right? Your network will be able to help you in a bunch of different ways. You just have to make sure that you're using your network correctly. And this is where I've always found I excelled at, is being able to find different ways to make money phone flipping without having to waste more and more time. And that's the key, guys. So again, I understand a lot of people are going to want to quit. A lot of people do quit. A lot of people do find this hard to do, but you don't have to be one of them. Because see, you're subscribed here and I consistently bring content to help you guys look from the outside, right? The outside in, and see different ways that you can implement different type of systems to make money. And this is definitely one with phone flipping. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm literally on my way to go to a healthcare and deal with their tech specialist, which is a person that just sets up phones for them. And I'm going to help him set up some iPhones they just got from T-Mobile. And then I'm going to take all of their iPhone 7s. And I know it's iPhone 7s, right? It's not worth nothing, right? But here's what I do with the iPhone 7s. And I'll give you guys this little nugget. And this is a trick that nobody really talks about. With the iPhone 7s, all I do is I give the iPhone 7s to some people, some of my reps, and even myself. I use my business account or they use their account, and we trade the iPhone 7s in for iPhone 17s and iPhone 17 Pro Maxes. And yes, we still have to pay a little fee because they don't really amount up to the promotion amount. But it's so easy to take old phones, and they have these little programs, iPhone on us, right? You trade those old phones in for newer devices. And yes, they're on installments, but there are a bunch of ways that you can maneuver around that. And I'm just telling you guys, this works. This is a creative way to make more money. And if you guys want me to go in depth in these strategies, trust me, I will. You guys just got to subscribe, man. Stay tapped into me. I continue to phone flip and build my businesses, wholesale, resell, phone flipping, and all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.